Hey everybody, I guess this is what I do now. I've become one of those goobers who vlogs about every part of their life, which I guess that's what this is, isn't it? It's a vlog. I have walked out into these woods, and I'm going to talk over it for a bit. So, you're still on the Placeholder podcast, that is still what this is, but doing something a little different today, I thought. Oh, I'm Mingus, by the way. But today it's just me. No Futterman, just me today. Sometimes it's tough. We live in different places. Can't always do stuff together. You know how it is. But it's been several years. Hey, okay, this reminds me. It's not related, but you know how in the found footage movies they always do that thing where it's like, oh, I got to run over there. Hold on while I stare at my own feet for a while, and then it's just like, why you do that? Oh, huh. I don't think this is technically a trail. Can I focus this? I can. Look at that. Where was I going with all this? A lot of lean-tos in this area. Gosh, I really hope there were a few other cars, but I really hope that I'm the only one here, because let me put it to you this way, okay? I saw a few other cars, so I really hope that I'm the only one here, because if I'm not the only one here, I'm going to look like a complete goober. Or maybe that's how I meet the love of my life, who knows. I was explaining what I was doing out here. Oh yeah, that's right. So here's the deal. I'm out in the woods, thought I'd take a walk, thought I'd take all of you with me. Welcome to the Placeholder podcast vlog. Is that what we're calling this? A walk with Mingus, as it were. But no, the reason is I think we just, it seemed like, there's stuff going on in my life, stuff going on in Futterman's life. Just seemed like maybe we needed a break. And I thought, maybe we take a bit of a break, Sometimes you just need a bit of a recharge. And I thought to myself, well, that's all well and good, but at the end of the day, we only have a certain number of backlogged videos, I mean, we prepared a bunch in advance in case we miss a few weeks, but once you miss more than one, you start to run out your backlog. That's the thing. Hey, how is that, by the way? What do you guys think? Look at all this. There's actual scenery to look at. It's not just a static screen. Ow, gosh. Oh, pain in my eyeball. I ran into a branch, and the branch went into my eyeball. It's a fun time for everyone involved. Ow. Gosh. Ah. Ow. Okay. Hi, what was I doing? Oh, yeah. So the natural result of, taking a short break is that you eventually run out of backlog. And we do have, one emergency video prepared, but it was just something I made, because Futterman introduced me to those, what do you call them? There's this whole subgenre. There's a lot of stupid stuff on the internet, but there's this whole subgenre. Look at all this, by the way. There's this whole subgenre of videos where it's like, it's just Ace Attorney. It's like, oh, stupid forum argument, but it's Ace Attorney. Futterman put one of those in a playlist that we have, and I saw it. And unfortunately, well, depending on who you ask, fortunately, unfortunately, bottom line, I was led to a whole bunch more of that exact kind of video. So now, here's what I'm dealing with. I've now discovered that there are hundreds of these things, and that just means that I have a new way to waste my time. Which, I mean, is not a bad thing, sometimes you want to waste time. But, you're always left feeling at the end of it. Well, I've come to a dead end, haven't I? You're always left feeling at the end when you waste time that it's like, man, I could have been doing things. But we've all been there, right? You think to yourself, hoy, I just spent that whole day, I just spent that whole day watching YouTube. I've accomplished nothing today. But I guess at the end of the day, those kind of days aren't always bad, Sometimes it's nice to have one of those days. I guess the problem runs into is when you have several of those days. Boy, I really just keep getting off track. Kind of a rambler. I mean, usually every video we've posted, it's not like we do solo videos. It's always both of us. So You're getting a bit of a taste of what it's like when it's just me. You get to come inside of my attention-rattled brain. Ow. Trees. Oh. This was much easier the other way around. There we go. And there's the eye branch. Don't hit my eyes. Okay, hi everyone. I'm back. Oops, I've blocked the lens. Where was I going with this? If I hold my arm out really far in front of me, I can act like this is just where my arm normally falls, and then I can make gestures. But I think that would distract from the scenery. Here's a log. Yeah. Where was I going with this? Oh yeah, the natural result. We had an emergency video. I made one of those. There's an argument on a forum that I frequent that I found really amusing. I won't spoil it in case we ever actually do publish that video. But bottom line, we put it into our shared Drive account. The problem is that for whatever reason, I'm unable to download it, so I can't actually post it. So if we ever do post that, he'll have to do it. But usually the posting is my job. When we started the podcast, I was thinking to myself, I don't really want to do editing. I just want to, let's go. Let's have some, stream of consciousness stuff. Look at that river. Some stream of consciousness stuff. So it's like, he likes more editing. And honestly, the ad breaks are one of the funniest things. I think at this point, there's still only 6 of you out there. Oh, good. Okay, now I'm doing the thing where I point at the ground. Good for me. I've become everything I hate. There's a waterfall. Can't really zoom in, unfortunately. Gloves kind of get in the way of camera functions. As it stands, I've been using my nose to hit play and pause and stop and other things. But boy, was there a point to all of this? I feel like there was a point at some point in my ramblings, and I lost track of it. Oh yeah, okay, so bottom line, we took kind of a break. It seemed like maybe we could use it, and we ran through our backlogs, and I don't have a way to post the extra video that we have ready to go. So I thought, why not try something different? I'm trying to do different things right in my life right now. Got a whole list. There's a lot to work on when it comes to me. But, one thing at a time. But yeah, I thought maybe it'd be fun to just go out to the little woods, walk around a bit, give you guys something to look at other than a blank screen that just says Placeholder Podcast. There won't be any editing in this. Whether or not that's a good thing, that's up to you. But for anybody who joins after the initial 6, anyone of you who come back through this backlog and notices that this is one of the only thumbnails that looks any different because there's nature around. It's a nice day. I'm going to date this video a bit, but here's the thing. It's April right now, and the last several days, what is it right now, Saturday? The last week, okay? The last week, it's been snow. We had just a downright flurry, and it's even the weather. It's okay, come on. I don't think this goes anywhere. I mean, normally, I'd be more willing to try it out and do some good old-fashioned bushwhacking, but as you can see, I'm not exactly dressed for the occasion, so probably save that for another time. That's the thing. Where was I going with this? I feel like I had a point. That's going to happen a lot. I'm just going to give you guys the heads up. That's going to happen a lot. When I'm by myself, this is the sort of thing that happens. Oh yeah, new things. That's right. Bottom line, I'm making a video to take the place of our normally scheduled video. Oh, I'm going to have to shine my shoes. There's mud on them. But that's what shoes are for. They're for getting dirty. If you're the kind of person who worries about your shoes, then, I have to wonder. It's what's the point of that? What do you get done? Hello. like, what do you profit yourself? What do you profit yourself when you're always worried about your shoes or the way you look? I wore sweatpants all throughout elementary school, and I remember people always wore jeans, and they mocked me for wearing sweatpants. At least one person, and this is one of those quotes that's hilarious. My parents think it's hilarious too. I thought I heard someone, but there was one kid who it's like, I always wore sweatpants. Okay, it's like, bottom line, I'm a very much a texture person. Okay, there are just certain feelings that I just can't deal with. Okay, and the feelings of jeans. I mean, now it's not so much of an issue, but jeans was one of them. So I always wore sweatpants because they're way more comfortable. And I mean, I still think that. These days I can wear jeans. I have worn jeans. I just don't like jeans. I hate the way they feel. And so it's like, why? Oh, hey, the river's low. I can walk down here a bit. But it's like, I hate the way that jeans feel, okay? I hate them. They're too tight, and they don't feel good. And it's like, why would I wear pants that don't feel comfortable? Excuse me a second. As I speak, my own pants need an adjustment. That's the danger of not wearing a belt, I guess. My belt, I'm going to have to replace my belt soon. I had my belt mostly for my job because, you need it. Well, it's like, I mean, you could not wear a belt, but it's like your pants. I had an old pair of pants, okay? They were hand-me-downs. The one pair ripped, and then I had to go call up my dad and be like, hey, I'm in the middle of my shift. You have any extra pairs of pants? And he's like, yeah, I got one. But it's like, it's my dad. He's larger than I am, so I have to wear that for a while. So it's like you always wear a belt. And honestly, the belt just keeps the pants up. You're bending over and you're cleaning things. There's lots to do. Lots to do. I really just... I can talk for a while, but sometimes I feel like I lose track of my own point. There was a point before I started this. What was in there? A bag of chips in its natural habitat. Where was I going with this? Oh, yeah. Bottom line, pants, belt, sweatpants. That's what I was talking about. Anyways, no, that's right. That's what he saw. He literally told me, he's like, you just need to get with the fashion. And it's one of the funniest. It's just one of those things that sticks with you, Because it's an absolutely hilarious quote. Because bear in mind, this is elementary school, okay? We're like in second grade, first grade. We're very young. So we have this kid telling me to get with the fashion because I'm not wearing jeans. And it's like, but I don't like jeans. Excuse me. The tarp. I saw a person back there. It's like, I don't want to be seen right now. I just want to fuck alone. Gonna seem like a crazy person otherwise. But then again, I guess I kind of am. I don't know if you've met me. You haven't, but you've heard my ramblings. You know where I go. But yeah, no, he actually told me to get with the fashion. And it's like, are you kidding me? But it's one of those things that sticks with you. Bottom line, I don't like jeans, okay? I'm a shorts guy most of the time. I don't... Yeah, that'll do. Very bendy stick. Honestly, I'd probably try to climb... Probably try to climb this tree if I had better shoes. If we're being totally honest. Another waterfall. Sometimes it's nice to just get away from it all, I spend a lot of time by myself, but it's usually in the same location. I don't tend to leave the house very often. It does... A fire pit. Very makeshift fire pit. Not sure that's up to code. Oh, hey, the trail. I found it. Oh, boy. Oh, there's no wiggle room on this trail. If I run into somebody, that'll just be it. And I don't have editing skills, so I'll have to keep them out of the video somehow. I have been through this path so many times. You know, I'm just now realizing, but I really hope you can hear me over the water, because the water is definitely louder here than it was over there. Maybe I'll do this as a series, you know? Just go out by myself, walk around, gives you guys something interesting to look at. If I remember to hold the camera up, which I just now realized it's been pointed kind of at the ground for a while. It's like, I'll do this more often. Just come out by myself, do stuff. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, he moved a while ago, and it's just been, but like we managed to keep in contact, you know. It's definitely a lot easier back in the old days. I remember back in elementary school, one of my best friends, at some point he moved away to a different place, and then like, you know, we kept in contact by mail at first. Every now and then, you know, I visited him a few times. I think he was in town a few times because he had family around. Like, ooh, another bench. That's the rule. Yeah. And there it goes. Down the river. Alright. But, like, you know, we kept in contact by mail. And, you know, you can't keep that up forever. You always lose touch. And it's a sad thing, but that's what typically happens when you have a friend who moves away. But, me and Fetterman, we've managed to avoid that so far. And honestly, at this point, I'm not even worried. I'm pretty sure this is a sort of an eternal, in perpetuity deal. Because it's so much, that's the thing with phones, it's so much easier. You just call them up whenever you want. You can't do that with letters. You got to send the letter, and you got to hope they get the letter, then they got to respond to the letter back, and you, like, who knows how long it takes in between. It can go from days to weeks. Sometimes the post office loses your mail because the post office sucks. I don't know if it's ever come up before, but the collective post agency is my arch nemesis. I don't know if it's come up before, but I'll just reveal it now. Collectively, the United States Postal Service is my arch enemy. I can't tell you how many times they've misdelivered my mail, not delivered my mail because they thought the mailbox was blocked even though it wasn't, and then I found out, of course, that they just straight up, if they run out of time, whatever the hell that means, that they'll just not deliver it and they'll just pick an option. It's like, oh, there wasn't a secure location, and it's like, are you kidding? Again with this? I mean, one time they're like, oh, there's no space in the mailbox, and it's like there's nothing blocking it. It's like, are you really, guys? Really? Oh, I hate that. I hate when that happens. It's a nice day out today. Is this what vloggers do all the time? Just talk over scenery? Do people find this interesting? Is this something that's worth listening to? I suppose I should be looking through the camera too. I'm just kind of looking around. You'd think that with this April weather, you'd think it would just get, I don't know, warmer by now. Because, okay, here, I'll tell you this. If we just moved over the seasons, if we just moved them over, like, by 1 month, everyone would be happier. Just take December, just move it over here. Not December, sorry. Take winter. Okay, it's stupid. Winter starts in November. Okay? It is stupid that Christmas happens at the very beginning of winter, and that March is technically winter. Because it's like, are you serious? Because that's so stupid. It's like, just move it back. Because then have spring start in March. You have spring start in March, you have winter start in November, then you got November, December, January, February, the coldest months. That's where all the snow is. Everyone would be happy, but it's like, no, March is the start of spring. It's not winter still. Only if you believe in the calendar system. But I think it's dumb. I think everyone would be a lot happier if we just moved it over a month. Just move that back. And I don't know what impact that would have on the rest of the climate calculations or whatever. It's probably something I don't know about, and that would affect it negatively, but I just think it's absurd to me that March is not the beginning of spring. Oh, another bench. Is there anyone by? Oh. Oh. We gotta sit in it. We gotta sit in that bench. Oh, never mind. It's a wet bench. Oh. I don't like being wet. No fun. Huh. Should we go back? Oh, yeah, I guess I'm already over here. You know, I guess now's the time I have to be profound because we've been just rambling for a while. Talked about a few things. Yeah. Maybe we'll each do our own thing every now and then. Make some solo videos. But my solo videos tend to just be my unfiltered consciousness. I mean, I guess there's a minor filter because whatever. Doesn't matter. Okay. Let's see. Okay, actually, you know what? Before that, I'm gonna look for another lean-to over there. I'm looking for like a post system. Oh, hello. Found one. All right, we're gonna see if I can land on the post. I don't know how far I should be from this. All right. Here we go. See if I can land on that post. Ha! Well, that didn't work at all, did it? Done it. I did it. I am the winner. You all saw it. I'm gonna have to clean these shoes off when I get home. Up. I'll be honest, I'm not entirely sure if pieces of my suit are in fact lady clothing. They might be a woman. I can't tell. It's a very large, but it might be a woman's cut. The brand definitely suggests that some of the pieces of my suit, but I mean, I got everything secondhand at Goodwill, you know. I'm a fan of cheap. I'm a fan of thinking, you know, whatever works, whatever I can get for the least amount of money that still functions. That's how I do most things. I mean, I'm content to patch up a hole in the wall with duct tape. If it's not that big a hole. If it's a bigger hole, it's like, okay, fine. We'll replaster that. But if it's just a regular hole, it's like, why not just use duct tape? It does the job fine. It's waterproof. I use duct tape to fix a lot of things. One of these lean-tos. This isn't a lean-to. What do you call this? I don't remember what the technical name is. There are definitely a lot more of these. They built more. There didn't used to be as many, but now there's more than there was at one point. It's pretty nice. Sleeping bag. And the coffee drink. I'm not touching it. Somebody might come back for that. Also, I'm not trusting a sleeping bag that I found in the middle of nowhere. Because that seems like a terrible idea. Here's what I don't understand. Why are we fine with picking up chairs off the side of the road, but not couches, and yet we'll buy a couch from a yard sale? I mean, if you ask me, those are functionally the same thing. I mean, it's like you're getting a secondhand couch. And again, I'm fine with that because, like I said, all of my furniture is yard sale stuff. Basically, everything I own is from a yard sale. I don't think I have any new furniture. And I don't even have very much new cookware. I got most of that from yard sales too. It's just what I do. Because it's like, why spend more money on something when you can spend less money and get the same thing? Just seems prudent at that point. You know? Oh, another bench. Sit on the third bench. Look at that sky. What a nice day it is. Scenery. There's probably some sort of irony to the idea of appreciating the scenery while at the same time filming it. Because you're almost focusing on the film itself, In some ways, you could say that people don't know how to appreciate things anymore. People don't know how to sit down and just look. And I feel like there's definitely some irony in the idea of doing that yourself and, sharing the experience with tens of people. Not even tens. I think at the time that I'm filming this, there's still 6, and I know who all of them are. But, that was never the point. Me and Futterman decided that, hey, let's do a podcast. Our main motivation was, hey, what might be fun? We should do a podcast. That might be fun, right? Just record, just talk about stuff. Because we noticed, Futterman's always compared, he says that the conversations we have remind him of the two... There's a leaf. Remind him of the two guys in Pulp Fiction. And I say that because I have not actually seen Pulp Fiction. But he has. He likes Pulp Fiction. I don't really have an opinion. I haven't seen it. Ooh, look at that. Hollowed out tree stump. I just think it's cool. Water. Shore. Oh, there are some cattails over there. Those are ready to pop. Those things are fun. We always messed around with those in cross country. You'd grab a few, then you'd huck them back at the people behind you. Big old clouds of poof. Also, there's those one things. I hate the one plant that's the little tiny, the really tiny sticker things. You just run into a bush and you've got all these tiny things that are Velcroed to you. I don't remember what it's called. I just remember that I don't like them. They're very irritating to get off of all your clothes. And then, they get stuck in every crack and crevice of your shoes. And it's you're just running through bushes at that point. So you're not going to notice until the run is over. And then you're you look down and it's oh, crud. I'm covered in whatever these things are. Like I said, I don't remember the name. I wonder how much memory is on this phone. I wonder what the maximum amount of video in one video is. What should I even call this video? The Placeholder Walkabout? A Walk with Mingus. Maybe if I call it A Walk with Mingus, then people will think that it's Charles Mingus. And then they'll click on the video and they'll be oh, it's just random scenery with some douchebag narrating over it. Can I just say that I'm really sick and tired of everything being so politically charged? I'm just saying. It's whatever happened to the days where you could just enjoy things? It's now everything has to be a message. Pisses me off some days. We haven't actually done an episode on it yet, but once again, I cannot reiterate enough. Why are there so many lean-to? Who keeps building all these? There were way less of these when I was younger. What was I saying? Oh yeah, go watch Centaur World. Seriously. Why haven't you watched it yet? Futterman's already seen it twice. More than I have seen it. I have only seen it once. Usually I'm the guy who watches things a million times and then gets back to other people. But this time he saw it more. Sticks. Totally serious though. Go watch Centaur World. It is one of the best shows that has come out in the last few years. Sturgeon's Law says that, I think it was originally applied to sci-fi. It's 90% of all sci-fi is crap. It's only that top 10% that's worth anything. But then you get down to, you can expand that as it turns out. It's not that 90% of sci-fi is crap. It's that 90% of everything is crap. That top 10%, by virtue of being the cream of the crop, that's the stuff that gets noticed by virtue of being the best 10%. And the top 10% is usually large enough that it'll still make up a sizable portion. The weird thing about lately, what's happened, really ever since 2016, is that somehow that bottom 90% has been conflated. Wait a minute. I'm going back over this way. I can loop back around. Somehow that bottom 10%. What was I talking about? The bottom, I'm losing my mind. Oh yeah, the bottom 90%, okay? Sturgeon's law says that 90% of everything is crap. However, that 90% of it, it's protected by the editors, you know? I've often said, I don't know if I've said it here, but I've often said that the only difference between something that's canon and something that's fan fiction is an editor. Because, I mean, if you really think about it, what is that? Is that a garbage bag? I think so. If you really think about it, with a franchise that runs long enough, eventually you will have people who are fans of it growing up will eventually become the new writers. And then what they're writing is essentially fan fiction because, you know, it's just ideas that a fan had that they wrote. The only difference is that theirs is official because they actually got hired on. So you're in this weird situation. But, like, where's it going with this? The 90% at the bottom, okay? Usually that 10% gets elevated. But we're in a weird position, which I partially blame on streaming, which I'm not thrilled about. Especially since we've basically just looped back to television. But that bottom 90% is now somehow getting the mainstream exposure that it usually only the top 10% is afforded. So you're in this weird situation where I'm not sure that there's actually more crappy things than there ever was. It's just that we're seeing them more, you know? Ooh, look at that. Look how nice that looks. There's a tree. There's a log. There's a bridge over there. Oh, I feel like I need to sit down for a bit. I remember one time we were running around here, and like one of the guys decided to try and run across from like one of the little island outcroppings to the other. I think maybe it was somewhere else. It was around this general area, I think. But like, he decided to try and run in the outcroppings, and then immediately regretted the decision. He got out there. He's like, oh nope, this isn't working. And immediately started. I took the hat. Don't worry. He like started getting swept away. We had to help him get back. It's kind of funny, but I mean that's just the sort of guy he was. We're all very much expecting one day to read an obituary in the newspaper that has something like house consumed in massive chemical explosion, because he likes to tinker, you know. He likes to do that sort of thing. We're all expecting one day there's just like, oh, there's a massive explosion. Only one guy was killed. It seems like he was trying to do something. We don't know what. Can I sit down without getting mud on my pants? I wonder if hold on, let me try this. There we go. I just needed to sit down for a bit. Man, I hope I've been loud enough. Wouldn't that suck if this whole time I've been going and then you can't even hear me. I really hope you can hear me over the water. And I also really hope that there aren't people nearby listening to me as I record this. Because, well, I mean, unless they heard the record this part, it's going to seem like I'm kind of a crazy person. Sitting in the middle of the woods in a suit, mumbling to myself. Well, back at it. Probably. Sun's going down. Probably can't stay out here too long, honestly. Get back home. I got stuff to do. It's Easter tomorrow. You know, that's one of the sad things. It's like the actual celebration part of Easter. I'm sorry, is that a bike? The actual celebration part of Easter is basically you get everyone together, but like the actual like ceremony as such, it's mostly just for young kids. So it's like once all the young kids grow up, not a lot to do but just get together. Oh, okay. So this is just straight up a bike in the middle of nowhere. And I'd take it, but honestly, I don't need a bike. I have one. I guess, you know, I subscribe to the whole idea of finders keepers, but something like that's probably someone's coming back for that. So, I'll leave it be. Well, I'm going to start doubling back. Now seems like a good time, honestly. I bet if I just keep walking, I can probably get through this place in like half the time. You know, there are days I wonder. Something that reminds me from Centaur World, part of the central message of that show is that it was like not only like learning to lean on others to like support them and let them support you and that sort of thing, but like the idea of self-loathing, because self-loathing, it doesn't hurt just you, it hurts everyone around you. When you have trouble with liking for the person that you are, you tend to drag everyone down with you. Because you're miserable, and then they have to listen to you being miserable, and like they probably care about you, and then that makes them miserable that you're miserable. But eventually, if you have a bad enough attitude, you start to drive them all away. And sometimes I wonder, it's like, if I just remove myself from the equation. That sounds bad. I'm meaning if I just seclude myself, okay? I'm already kind of a hermit by nature. I'm just meaning like if I just stayed there. I realize how that sounded. But it's like, if you seclude yourself, then you're miserable by yourself, but, at least other people aren't. They don't have to listen to it. But at the end of the day, I'm not sure that actually solves much. But I've thought about it. Sometimes I think it would certainly be easier. Not necessarily for me, but I guess in a sense, because then it's like you don't have to actually fix anything. You don't have to actually address the issues. You can just remove yourself, let everyone else move on, have peace. And then your misery, it only affects you at that point. But that's not healthy. Sometimes I don't know what else to do. I've got a list. I've got a list of things. But, and they always say it's easy stuff. I think that's the problem, is that I've discovered a lot in many situations throughout my life that my own worst enemy is myself. I get in my own way most of the time. There are things that, I could fix. The problem, that's the worst part, is being aware of it, is knowing that your own mind is knowing that you yourself are the one that gets in your own way and causes you the most trouble, and then still doing those patterns anyways. It's not a fun feeling. You always wonder, how do I deal with it? I don't know. I guess you just keep trying. I'm still here. I'm gonna be here for another 80 years or so, who knows? 80, 90. Of course, I guess it could easily just be whatever. Bottom line, I'm here for the long haul, so it's gotta figure it out at some point. Don't want to spend the entire time miserable. Sometimes I think to myself, man, wouldn't life be so much easier if I could just learn the lessons if I could just take some of the lessons I've gotten from TV shows to heart. Really, it sounds stupid, but there's stuff to learn from the stories that others tell. And sometimes I think, why can't I not just take the lessons that I see here and I see how they play out? Why can't I just apply that? And honestly, I couldn't tell you. I've always been kind of stubborn that way. Like I said, we are really getting dark here. We're gonna have to get out of here soon. Yeah. Well, we'll just keep going until we get to the parking lot, I guess. I think let me think. At the beginning of all this, we made a whole list. I don't want to end on too much of a downer. If you ever find yourself having trouble, just keep going, all right? You can't be knocked down if you don't stay down, You just keep moving forward. Statistically speaking, it has to get better eventually. You just gotta keep pushing forward until you get sick of your own misery, I guess, and resolve to do something about it. Anyways, I don't want to end on too much of a down note, so we got a little bit of time. I have been recording for a while. Ow, gosh. Stupid lifts, shoes. Where was I going with this? Oh, yeah. I think the last one we recorded, we made an episode. We were going to talk about toys, and then we got distracted. I don't know if that one went up yet. But we were going to talk about toys, and then we got distracted. I think I uploaded that one. Bottom line, we ended up talking about childhood memory. I did upload this one, because I remember writing a description for it. We ended up talking about mostly childhood memories. Wow, it is much... If you just walk and don't stop at all, it is much quicker this way. Oh, well, I'm most of the way back already. Look, there's the bench from earlier. And this pine tree. Spruce tree? I don't know. Don't quote me on that. I'm not a botanist. Talk to my brother if you want to know about plants. He's got like every Audubon field guide. I've got one. I've got the mushroom one. He's got all of them. And his mushroom was a later edition. I checked to see if there were any differences. I think there were like some very minor... Most of the information is the same because, you know, I imagine some fields... update less than others, you know? They move at a slower pace. Because it's like there's just not as much to discover. It's like with certain species of edible mushrooms, not drug kind, regular kind, like morels or puffballs. No, or not the agarics. Those tend to be poisonous. I'm gesturing, but you can't see it. It's off. I gesture a lot when I talk. You can never see it, though. Alright, anyways. I'm going to keep going. I still have no idea what I'm going to call this video. But you guys aren't going to see it until tomorrow. Though, of course, if you're watching this now, tomorrow will be today. So, I mean, if you're seeing this now. So, who knows? Boy, howdy, I hope the audio turns out okay. Because I have been going for a while, and I don't have time to do another one. And that's not how stream of consciousness works. Look how tall these trees are. I had an idea. This forest... I'll save that for another time. Once again, I've lost track of my own point. You know, my own thoughts are a lot more coherent when I'm just thinking them in my head. Once I start verbalizing them, it just goes all over the place. Because then I start with one train of thought to the other, and it just keeps going and going, and it makes much more sense when it's just in my head. So when it's just in my head, I can think about one thing. Do. It's getting dark. And I gotta get home soon, but we'll get there very soon today. For every boat we fix that is broken, we make new friends and build new friendships. Who's our... Wait, no. Dang it. I know the other one better. For every minotaur that is frozen, we dig new holes to throw all of those in. Use our Moltar friends to go dig. Then these guys will wake up in prison. So I can't wipe off this guy's head. You'll just bury him alive instead. Yep, we dig to bury the bad guys. Then our conscience will be less sad, guys. Anyways, I mean, there's more to that song. Oh, hey, here's the fork in the road. Yep, we're almost back then. Streaks on the china never mattered before. Who cares when you drop kick your jacket as you came through the door? No one glares, but sometimes things get turned around and no one's spared. All hands look out below. There's a change in the status quo. Gonna need all the help that we can get. According to our new arrival, life is more than mere survival, and we just might live the good life yet. I like that song a lot. And yes, I'm aware it's the theme song from Mr. Belvedere, but it's one of those comfort things, you know? Yeah. Well, I suppose I should end this soon. Almost back to the beginning. It's about 45 minutes. Pretty good showing, honestly. Yeah, at this point, I'm just trying to think of the way to wrap it up. I'm running out of things to say. I mean, I guess I could keep talking forever if I wanted to, but, like, I'm not talking about a specific topic today, so I'm just kind of going all over the place. Yeah. So, yeah, I'll probably just end it in a little bit. Call it good. Wonder how long it's going to take to get this video off of this camera. Because I got to upload it. And also, it'll probably take way longer to upload because there's like an actual video instead of just a still image. So, that'll probably take longer. Where's the camera? There's the camera. Excuse me. Well, it's getting dark. I need to get home soon. Probably call it good in a bit. Well, there's no outro music today. This is a new thing. So I'll just put it to you this way. I'll just do our usual spiel. You know, emails in the description, realplaceholderpodcastofficial@gmail.com. Send us a letter, tell us to get real jobs, or in this case, tell me to get a real job instead of vlogging in the woods like a nincompoop. Like a goober. Other than that, that's really all there is to do. But Futterman's not here this time, so it's just left to me. Yep. Now I can see the end of the trail over there. Well, hope you enjoyed the time. Might do this again someday. You'll probably see this in place of a regular episode. Hopefully it wasn't too depressing, because, I don't know. I've already forgotten where I was going with this, and at this point I'm just stalling. I'm just as bad as ending this as I am at ending phone calls. So you know what? On that note, it's over.